You know what, poor Biggie just told me I'm going to give him a ride home from work today because, and I think
what's going on?
Well, I think I'm quoting him correctly here. His steering wheel is falling apart.
Yeah.
He can't,
His what?
his steering wheel, which
The
is,
turny thing?
yeah,
Well, just all of it.
it's a pretty important piece.
It's key.
I think it's a key
I'd say you need it.
I agree.
What would you say, Biggie, are the symptoms?
Well, this
missing.
morning, yeah.
It's absent.
There's no there there.
Well, this morning I went to turn, and suddenly these plastic pieces just started kind of falling off around it. Now it still drives and steers just fine, but it's almost like it's a little. Now it feels a little loose, like from top to bottom. So I'm like, I'm not risking this.
You think it could come right off in your hand?
Right
I
into
don't
your
know.
hands.
Yes. Wouldn't that be something if you're just steering and it wasn't steering?
You say the plastic part, you mean like the outer shell?
Yeah, like little plastic pieces like around it. I picked them up, put them on my seat because they fell down onto the floorboard, and so I'll be taking that to the shop today.
Listen,
But how?
Exactly. What are you,
Towing.
you're gonna tow? You're gonna have it
tow it?
You're gonna have it towed to the shop. You don't trust it to drive to the shop.
No, I trust it, but I also don't trust it. And I have AAA, so
You're gonna let it. Okay then.
and the shop's not far, so there you go.
Well, listen, I'm not a hero, but I'm gonna give you a ride home. Don't call me. I'm gonna do it.
Just showing off your working steering wheel like that?
Well, again, it works.
Look, I'm turning left.
Look at this.
I'm turning right.
Bet you wish you had this, don't you?
30 years old.
Feels risky.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to get that done. A couple of other things here, updates. Kim Cattrall is speaking out on her return to the Sex and the City franchise.
Getting soft in here.
Okay, let's get soft. Let's
Getting fluffy.
Let's get soft for a minute. Let's go down the fluff hole for a minute. Kim, if you don't know this, she's reprising the role of Samantha on the Sex and the City reboot, and just like that, Biggie and I watch it. All right, full disclosure, we're
I
down.
thought it was just for one episode.
It is.
It's less.
It's one scene. In
one
fact,
scene.
I don't know if you heard, it's the final scene of the final episode of this coming season, and she shot it on the condition that she would have to see no other actors, writers, directors, or producers of the show.
God, she hates all those people?
All of them. She's like you,
More
Dave.
alone than Biggie.
She's like y'all.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Biggie said, wall me off. Kim Cattrall said, I can't even see them. I won't even see any of these people.
As a fanboy, Biggie and Kelly, you both can answer if you'd like independently. Does it? I didn't realize the parameters. I mean, I knew how she was shooting it, but knowing that it's the final episode, does that kind of detract?
I think so.
I mean, obviously, you want
Yeah.
her to, you want people to think she's going to be in the season.
Well, the theory is, the speculation is she'll do that final scene, and then she'll come back for a season 3, which
As
will
a
be,
launching point, but
yeah,
that sound like it based on what.
Yeah, they're gonna have
nobody knows what she shot.
to
Nobody
come
knows.
together at some point.
The point is, a lot of people. Now, I'm going to give a quote from her from many times past. She said, "You will never ever see me play the role of Samantha again. I will not play Samantha. I don't know how else to say it. I promise. I swear, I will never play Samantha." Some people have now said to her, "You said you'd never play Samantha." She says, "I was never definitive about it."
Look, let's just money talks.
It does.
Lies.
I never said it matter of factly.
I haven't looked at it. What are the numbers like on this thing? I mean, the viewership, whatever it is they look at on streaming.
I don't know.
Pretty high?
I don't know.
Is it making
But
lots
it
of
has a
money,
pretty
you think?
decent run.
Yeah. Well, if they brought it back for season 2, so I mean,
They're making enough cash that they can offer her
I
a
guess
decent amount to come back.
they didn't say. No one has said what she got paid. All we know is she shot one scene in a room where no one saw her. They put a camera on her, just a tripod in her, and she did the scene. And that's it. So, but we don't know if she'll come back the following season.
No.
She'll be in her 70s then, but she may be coming back at that time. We just don't know. So that's the. All right, yeah, we went down the fluff hole there for a minute. All right, that's fluff hole news.
What about her looks? Is she concerned about her looks?
Yes, she says she's fighting aging with everything she has. That's what she's all about. Is
Did she
fighting.
also once say she'll never use
Correct. She said, I'll never, ever use any kind of...
fillers, plumpers, Botox?
Now she has... Well, she never said it definitively.
And listen, money talks.
Okay. She is now using fillers, Botox, plumpers, all of those things.
Yeah, everybody's got a price.
She says, it's not about how I look. It's about how I feel. It's about aging, and she fights aging now. Okay?
Well, Jane Fonda and those other old women, they all keep
fighting
making
it.
movies left and right.
Fighting.
They're
it.
terrifying, but they do keep making them.
They do.
Remember, I saw half of 80 for Brady.
Oh my God.
On a plane.
We had a thing happen. This is a little bit about aging now. In here the other day on Friday, this was nice of Biggie. There was a young fan of this show, Maddie,
yes.
little Maddie, who came in, had a birthday, turning
Turning
8. Okay. So Biggie had said, "Come in. We'll give you a little tour of the studio. You get it. You know, we gave her a T-shirt. All of those things." Biggie didn't hear this, but she's come in with her mom, very nice little girl, and she's very curious.
And she listens every day.
She's a big listener. And she said, "What's this?" And I would say, "Well, okay, this is the control board, and here's a computer, and here's where Chris Demm sits." And then Chris Demm said, "There's the defibrillator for Biggie."
It's just installed.
Yeah.
I thought you might want a photo.
We got her picture next to Biggie's defibrillator. Smiling ear to ear. Sure. I loved it. I said, this is what it's all about. This is the synergy. This is what it's all about, right?
You know, I tell people it's not an act. He is an ass. Even to children. And yet people don't believe me. Chris Demm, he's a really nice guy, isn't he? He's not. No, you guys are just putting on an act, right? No, I am not. He will say something horrible to you, and you won't realize it.
We play the music and the sound effects here, and here's Biggie's defibrillator.
Yeah.
We have 2 in the room.
There's Dave's pint of bourbon.
Right, there's Dave's pint of bourbon. Drink it. Dave and Chris Kelly are trained on CPR, all of those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was a little lamb, Biggie. She
was
loved
very
you.
nice, very nice.
Your number one fan, I would say.
She was.
Very,
She was
very
very
nice.
nice.
Very nice. Now, here's Chris Demm said this, and I think this is a great question. Get your guess in here, Dave.
Okay.
Chris Demm was in an airport recently. He flew to California and back.
Yeah, so, and we've changed planes in Atlanta, which I believe they'll proudly tell you is the busiest airport in the world.
Yes.
Certainly in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And we were also in San Francisco, which is a major international
Of course.
airport. So we saw a lot of different people.
So he says to me after he got back, "You ever see somebody take a 3-point piss?"
Oh.
And I said, "I don't know."
Well, on the internet.
He said, "I've seen a 3-point piss right there next to me in the bathroom at the airport." And he said, "What do you think it is?" And I said, "I think it's peeing from a long distance away with an arch, with a stream, like a 3-pointer in basketball."
Yeah.
Dave, thoughts?
Okay.
Dave, you had some thoughts?
Dave, you have any thoughts on what a 3-point piss is?
Well, I think it does have to do with stream.
Mm-hmm.
It could be it could be for distance behind the line.
Yep.
Or it could be just somebody standing out in the middle of the bathroom in San Francisco, peeing in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And it's
Just onto the floor.
1 leg, 2 leg.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's a
3-pointer. Yeah, I get that.
Stream is leg 3.
That's a San Francisco thing.
That's a San Francisco style.
Not Atlanta.
No, not Atlanta.
It's not the San Francisco treat.
No, that's not Atlanta. That's San Francisco. They
Yes.
do that there. That's
yeah,
right.
they do.
Biggie, your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was stance related, so I thought maybe he was wide legged, kind of crouched as he did it in hand.
Yep.
You know, got low with it.
I think you're closest.
I think, Big, you're the closest because
right
I've
now.
explained to Chris Kelly what it was after he put in his guess. And I just defined it as a 3-point piss because that's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
You're right, Biggie. It is a wider stance. It's a gentleman at a urinal.
Yeah.
And I call it 3-point because in football, linemen have what they call a 3-point stance. 3 points of contact with the earth.
2 feet.
Both feet and one hand.
Right, yeah.
And so when these people are taking 3-point pees, I'm going to have to do it in front of Biggie's window here.
Yeah.
So if it's on camera, you get an advantage. But it's like this.
Yeah. Stand and then lean against the wall. the lean against
and
the
they
wall.
got the lean
The
and they
lean.
hold. Okay.
So your
Your forearm is between your forehead and the wall.
Yep.
Or sometimes you just have your hand flat out like in a palm motion.
Yep, and then you're dangling over the urinal. And to me, it's like that's a person who's given up, you know?
I'll tell you where you've seen the and I've seen the
give up.
head
Yeah.
on hand in
Yeah.
a restroom. You see that a lot in the Las Vegas airport.
Oh, they've lost a lot of
Oh,
money.
yeah.
They've lost money.
I've
right.
had a rough weekend. I'm hungover.
That's hangover.
Oh God,
That's
get
hangover
me out of
pee.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you need assistance.
The only time, or one of the few times I've ever seen it, the first time I ever saw it, I was a junior in high school, and we had a Spanish teacher. Great guy. Loved him as a teacher. Overweight. And he peed next to me in a urinal once, and he leaned.
Senor Gordo.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the name. I liked him very, very much. He was a really good teacher, but he was overweight. And I guess, like to get to the toilet, that's how he did
to get the apparatus in
get
position.
Everything in position, he had to lean in. And I looked at him, I said, Senor Gordo.
Come on, stop.
Usted. Por favor.
One day you'll understand.
Me llamo no gordo.
Los manos.
I said to him, Los manos, senor. Senor, por favor, la piedra, por favor. El cuarto de baño. And he just said, go on without me. And he's like, vámonos, vámonos. That was it. I couldn't. We weren't allowed to speak any English in his class, of course.
Yeah, you couldn't help him.
You were immersed.
What a great guy, but he did lean against that. When you said it, I was like, oh, I've seen senor.
So women hover.
Yeah.
They do that thing. Mm-hmm. But I guess occasionally you'll see a man. Maybe it's the equivalent of a hover.
I guess.
But it's not quite. You're not touching anything, but it is. You need more support because you don't think that on 2 feet you're steady enough.
But the guy, it's really almost the opposite of a hover because you are touching with your hand, in the forearm. You're
getting more support.
Yeah, you're getting
way more support. It's a 3-point stance.
Well, maybe at that point you should just go and sit down.
Well, I don't know.
Sometimes
you're right.
You've got your backpack on and your bag behind you.
That's right. And
that wall you're leaning up against ain't no prize either.
No, but most of the places have soap and water.
Well, I could see it in Vegas too. That you
for sure.
God, whew, man, I just saw a good Shark Tank. I'm watching Shark Tank like it's going out of style now. Now this is a 10-year-old show,
of course,
but
they invented the iPhone.
Yeah, it was on there.
Watch this little company, Apple.
I think it's going places.
Look, a picture.
You know what a woman had invented? It was a baby changing station. You know those plastic things.
Oh yeah,
that come
I've
out
seen
of
them.
She invented one that when you close it, it had infrared lights that cleaned it of 99% of all germs within 1 minute. It took 60 seconds. You close it and it was clean within a minute. That way, when you bring it back down, and it had hooks all over it, so you could hook your backpack and your diaper bag and your purse to it.
All right.
So I thought, well, that's a pretty good
What
idea.
the Sharks think?
Nobody gave her a deal because it was too. I tell you why, too expensive. And they were trying to get deals with stadiums and Walmarts and stuff like that. And he was like, "You're never going to get them to do that because they have to change their infrastructure because the ones now just stick on a wall. Now they have to have
wires going in.
Wires, exactly. And it was too expensive for them to. So they didn't think it would work.
Yeah, they're right.
But I agree. But I did think it's. I have changed. I don't think it's that big a problem.
But if you are changing a baby in, let's say, a gas station bathroom or a Walmart bathroom.
Or an airport.
For sure. You put something down between your baby and
so my wife
the surface anyway.
My wife said just put down whatever. You put down. They even have little sheets there for you to put down. Mm-hmm. It's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. It's 1 minute's worth. But she said this. She said that she had incidents where you got to put your dirty diaper bag on the floor, or on the dirty floor.
I'm sure that's true.
That's right. That's right.
Hooks are good. Yeah.
I don't think it's really that necessary. That's why they said
we do need more hooks in bathrooms.
That's another.
I'm very pro hook.
Guy on a different Shark Tank. All right.
Said put a hook in the bathroom.
No, he didn't say put a hook in the bath. That'd be an easy one, wouldn't it?
All right, I'm in. He say cut off hands, wear hooks.
He didn't get a deal. They said, nah.
You want me to amputate both hands?
This is the Blackbeard.
Well, not at, like the forearm, more at the wrist.
Mark Cuban gave him a deal. No, he had hooks that went with you and would stick on any surface other than like brick or rock. It would stick on, and it would stick anywhere and it suctioned to the table or whatever and became.
You know what? I have seen a few people, and they're all women. They have them. They travel with them, and they hang their purses on them.
Yes, because
otherwise, at a restaurant or a bar, your purse is on the floor.
That's what it was for. Because women, especially.
My wife, when we go to a place, especially a new place, she'll always search for the hooks.
Right,
and she always gives them a higher grade if they have hooks for purses.
Somebody gave them a deal. This guy a deal. So it's a portable. You put it in your purse.
I think I may have seen a variation on it.
Yeah, probably so. Anonymous, you're talking about the 3-point piss. Go ahead.
I was in NASCAR for several years, and we'd get a roommate every year we had to travel with 3-5 days a week. The one roommate I had for a while was an alcoholic, and I remember being asleep and hearing this noise in the middle of the night, waking up, and he had his hand up on the wall, peeing in the corner of the floor of the room.
Oh, my God.
Been drinking all night.
Oh, my God. How horrible.
So I got that swapped out where he ended up going with a different roommate for the rest of the year, and then maybe 2 weeks later he did the same thing. He peed in some guy's tennis shoes.
Jeez.
That was about it. They let him go.
Yeah, you have to go after that.
Yeah.
Man, he's
Poor
got
guy.
That's awful.
I hope he got it cleaned up.
Thanks, Anonymous. Appreciate the phone
At
call.
least he didn't pee in your shoe.
Yeah, at least just the corner of the room. There.
Well, I'd be checking my tire the next morning after you changed it.
No kidding. No kidding.
Don't forget to put the lug nuts on.
Jay, you're talking about what Chris Demm is describing as the 3-point piss, which is leaning against a wall as you pee. Let's say at an airport.
With
You're
one hand to steady.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a friend, gay and gaudy. Imagine Liberace on steroids.
All right.
As he got older, he installed a urinal in his master bath.
Mhm.
And as he got even older, he installed a pillow on the wall. So when he gets up in the middle of the night, all he has to do is lean against the wall as he pees.
Pillow on the wall.
A pee pillow?
What a great. There's a Shark Tank for
Shark
you.
Tank.
Yeah. It'll be a pillow on the wall that I can lean against.
Pretty specialized.
Thank you, Jay. By the way, that's what we were going to call this show, Gay and Gaudy.
There's still time.
Or Liberace on steroids.
We workshopped them both.
The LGBTQ community came out and protested.
They said no.
You're
They
not.
said you're too pride. Too
Melissa,
much pride.
Melissa, you're talking about hovering on a toilet. Go ahead.
Right. So as a lifetime germaphobe, I hover all the time, but sometimes it gets complicated. The worst one ever was in the 1990s when my mother was married to her second husband, who belonged to a country club. We went to brunch, and at the time, dress shorts were very, very popular. And I had to have some, but I had big hips. So getting these things off and on was very difficult. So you would just pull everything over with one hand to pee, but sometimes it would go into your hand, or sometimes it would just go straight down your leg into your shoe. So here I am in the country club bathroom, rinsing out my shoe and taking wet paper towels and wiping all the pee from down my leg, while other high society women were watching.
Oh, no.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
think you're country club material.
Yeah.
You haven't paid your deposit yet, have you?
There's no shoe urinating at Bushwood.
After today, we're closed.
Oh,
word.
man.
She's got birthing hips like you, Kelly.
Stop saying I have. You know I don't like it when you say I'm shaped like a pear or that I have birth hips.
It hurts my feelings.
That hurts me to my core.